Shawn Michaels giving it everything he has here to defeat Cena inside the cage. Cena looking like he was going to do it, but alas, Shawn Michaels escapes the door, and DX are going to celebrate tonight. The band is back together yet again, once more before they're scheduled to meet at WrestleMania. But for now, they celebrate HBK's victory. They're tuning up the band. They are getting ready. Are you ready? And oh, what the hell? Triple H just pedigreed Shawn Michaels. And it's clear to us what he wants. Look at him trampling on the vest. And I honestly thought that HBK and Triple H were closer than this. But apparently the commissioner was right. That title does get in the way of relationships. Triple H wants to become World Heavyweight Champion.
Now get the cards, the dice, to my generation, I'll take them. Let's get it on. We're in this together and do it all. They say that nothing's forever, and they refuse to see the change in me. Why won't they wake up?
Many questions have been asked, but will they be answered? Live here tonight for episode 17. FCAD Clayle once again commentating No Limits Wrestling, and this is the final 3 episodes before WrestleMania, and we have got a lot of questions that need to be answered here tonight. One of them is who is number 1 contender for the Intercontinental Championship. Last week, Chris Jericho cost Chris Benoit a shot at Money in the Bank, so tonight they go one-on-one, and the winner will be number 1 contender for the Intercontinental title. Benoit versus Jericho live here tonight. And another question that will be answered is why did he do it? Triple H betraying his best friend Shawn Michaels only a few weeks before they're scheduled to meet for the world title at WrestleMania. Tonight, the game explains his actions on No Limits Wrestling. There are still a lot of unanswered questions. Hopefully, will we get answers here tonight? Particularly from this guy. This past week on Metal, decimated Hardcore Holly and sent another message to The Undertaker by using the Tombstone Piledriver for victory. He is in action once again tonight, and we have still not seen Undertaker since Retribution. Sting has still had his challenge unanswered. He challenged Undertaker to a match at WrestleMania last week. However, here tonight, he once again competes in the middle of the ring. And you gotta wonder that The Undertaker must be sat at home watching Sting as he continues to come out here and give his... Oh, wait a minute! Well, Sting was scheduled to compete here tonight. He was scheduled to compete right now, but what on earth is this? And he's back! You wouldn't think he'd be gone for long, and he is back. This is the first time since Retribution where Sting and The Undertaker have been in the same building. I can't believe The Undertaker's here. Is he here to answer the challenge? Sting was scheduled to have a one-on-one contest right here, and instead he got The Undertaker. Sting challenged The Undertaker last week. Undertaker has not been seen since Retribution, but he's staring in the eyes of Sting. And the 2 combustible elements have got together, and destruction is guaranteed. The Undertaker wailing on Sting in the corner, following the attack at Retribution, he wants to get his hands on Sting, and oh my goodness, from behind. He's just been taken out, and look at this, trying to choke out the Phenom. Sting, all over the Undertaker. Sting looking like he's seen a ghost. Haven't seen Undertaker since Retribution. Oh, and he's got him followed by the throat. Is Sting going to take a ride? But Sting runs out of the ring like a coward, and it seems as though he hasn't been able to back up his word. Well, Undertaker's got a microphone in hand, and you got to believe he's going to try and talk to Sting.
There's an old expression that goes, the more things change, the more they stay the same. I guess that goes for you. Because I remember your first run. I remember how these people would get up on their chairs and scream. How small children in the red t-shirts would get on their father's shoulders just to get a glimpse at their hero. Back in the day, do you remember what happened when I would come to the ring? All those smiles, all the laughter would be replaced by frowns and tears. Those small kids would get off their father's shoulders, hide behind his legs. They would hide there in fear, just like you hide in fear when you think about facing me. And what you have to realize is I'm not like everybody else. I'm not like The Rock. I'm not like Triple H. I'm not awestruck by your presence, and I'm definitely not impressed with you. You know why? Because I beat you. And deep down, although you don't want to admit it, you know that I am better than you are now, better than when you were in your prime. The pain and the humiliation that I am capable of inflicting on anybody I choose. You've always known that, and that's exactly why you ran off the first time. You knew if you stayed that I would hurt you, and you were right. That's why he was so anxious for a rematch, and that's probably why he'll lose. What you have to realize is that I can do much more than take your title. What I can do is take a living, breathing icon and beat him and batter him and leave him a bloody shell of a man. You don't have to take my word for it. All you have to do is ask. There's a thought that you need to come to grips with. That thought is, when you come face to face with The Undertaker, the party is over. That's why, because I want to personally see the expressions on these people's faces when I destroy the legend that is the most terrifying part about it. There's not a damn thing that you can do about it.
I'm just going to assume it's challenge accepted. The Undertaker has been marked while he has not been here, and now that he has finally come face to face with Sting, he has finally accepted the challenge. The dream matchup is indeed happening. Sting versus The Undertaker at WrestleMania. Sting looks on. Didn't expect him to be here, but he is. The dead man, The Undertaker, is after the icon.
I am the best in the world. I've been the best ever since day one when I walked into this company.
I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't do drugs. My addiction is wrestling.
For years, I have proved to everybody in the world that I am the best. On this microphone, in that ring, nobody can touch me. I am the best in the world.
My name is CM Punk.
Undertaker against Sting at WrestleMania is going to be historic. The crowd went crazy, and at times commentary wasn't even audible. The crowd was so loud, so if you couldn't hear me, I apologise. But the crowd is amped up here tonight, and that is why we've got a Hardcore Championship match coming up next for you right now. The current NLW Hardcore Champion Raven about to make his way to the ring, and has recently defeated both Batista and this past Wednesday night on Metal defeated Randy Orton. Some people are calling those victories fluky, but to be honest, it's all within the confines of the rules. So Raven, still your Hardcore Champion since Retribution, and looking to continue that way, heading in on the road to WrestleMania. Holds that title high, but for how long? That is the question. Raven, earlier tonight, I was talking to him backstage. He said he wanted to be one of the greatest hardcore champions of all time, but there is a massive obstacle standing in his way right about now. The 7 foot tall, 400 pound giant, that is the Big Show. The last time we saw him at Retribution, he was handcuffed to the ropes, bloodied from head to toe, but looking to bounce back here tonight and maybe win the Hardcore Championship on the road to WrestleMania. That is his goal. Raven, not much of a pushover, but you gotta believe that Big Show, all the power he possesses, this is probably Raven's toughest challenge yet. But if anybody can do it, it is Raven, and he's proven that on many occasions. He actually physically has to look up. The Big Show, looking down on his opponent, instead of locking up, follows him by the throat and throws him over the top rope with ease, manhandling Raven early on in this hardcore matchup. Again, no disqualifications, no countouts, falls count anywhere in the Hardcore Championship matches as he delivers that speed limit sign off of the skull, steel onto back again. And what's he thinking? Just vicious. Sends Raven straight into the steel ring steps. Raven, watch out! Steel against skull yet again, going off of the ring post, and now you see Raven desperately trying to choke out the giant, but I don't know how effective it is going to be as he powers out of it. Raven thought he was going to try and choke out the Big Show, but to no avail. But that's what he's got to do. Quick dodge, hit and move. That's what Raven's going to have to be. Hit and move strategy right now. Catch him off guard from behind, dropping both feet into the back of Big Show. And for Raven's sakes, he wants to keep hitting and dodging if he's got any chance of winning this matchup, as he grabs him by the head. And there you see the Bulldog by Raven, and if Raven can hit the Raven effect as early as possible, maybe can get this hardcore title match over and done with. But it ain't going to be easy. Big Show with the power, the massive headbutt, and now has him by the throat and drives the elbow into the sternum of Raven. Here is the cover, all of that weight on Raven, but he manages to kick out regardless. Big Show hasn't held NLW gold yet. Would like to start here tonight, and he looks as if he's going to do that now, slamming Raven down to the mat. Raven, a crafty individual, and that is what he's got to do. Get this match outside of the ring and get the weapons, and the trash can lid shot to the head of Big Show, and going to hold his head. If anything's going to slow down the giant, it is steel on skull. He turns around, and Raven, look at him with the Singapore cane off of the barricade, jumping from a great height. And now, not the time to get cocky. You want to keep on the Big Show, not let him get any rest whatsoever. He is on the top rope and delivers a massive leg drop. Is this going to be it for Raven, as Raven put the Big Show away, but he kicks out? I gotta tell you, Big Show is not in the greatest of shape at the moment. You would assume he's not competed since Retribution when he's bloodied from head to toe, but you wouldn't tell right then. Massive clothesline by the Big Show, but still holding his stomach. As we take a look back at the replay, the leg drop from the top rope by Raven. That didn't do anything to the Big Show. It would appear that way anyway, but he's got him over his shoulder again and going to use the power as he power slams Raven down onto the mat. Big Show with his knockout punch has put out a number of individuals away. And now is he going to go for that massive splash in the corner? 500 pounds on the chest, but misses. Raven yet again walking away. And you see him crawling over the massive carcass of the Big Show. Now going to go for some more weapons, and I don't know what the hell that is. Some sort of trolley. What do you think's going through the mind of Raven right now? He's got that trolley from out of the ring. Again, no DQ. But he puts Big Show onto it. And what do you think Raven's thinking? What's he got in mind right now? Wheeling Big Show into the barricade, and it breaks. The barricade made way for the massive body frame of the Big Show and that trolley that Raven rolled him on. He's got the chair now, and Big Show only gingerly to his feet, and the chair shot off of the skull. Here is the cover by Raven, and I thought it was over just then. Raven can't believe it. He's still got more damage to do if he wants to beat the Big Show, and this is not the time to pose. He's got to get on the Big Show, and oh my, has him throttled by the throat, and I do not like the look of this. Chokeslam onto the barricade, chokeslam onto the steel, and the Big Show has won. The Big Show is the new NLW Hardcore Champion. I don't think it's a surprise that he's won. I'm just surprised that Raven was defeated with such decisiveness. I mean, that massive chokeslam onto the barricade would have put anybody away. And a major shock on the road to WrestleMania. The Big Show has defeated Raven, and after only a short time as champion, Raven has lost the title. But that chokeslam onto the barricade was just the decisive edge that Big Show needed. I think Raven's only just come to. He can't believe he's just lost the hardcore title in that fashion. But more shocks, more twists and turns to come on the road to WrestleMania. One of which is the Big Show maybe entering WrestleMania with the Hardcore Championship. Raven was so hell-bent on defending that title at WrestleMania, it would seem, but he has been upset. Then again, 500 pounds against Raven, you know who's going to come out on top in that one, and it was the Giant tonight. New Hardcore Champion, but coming up next week, who will be the #1 contender for the Intercontinental Championship? Will it be Chris Benoit? Will it be Chris Jericho? Those two men go one-on-one with each other next week. The winner will face Alberto Del Rio for the Intercontinental Championship next week.